Welcome back to another episode of the Halftime Podcast brought to you by the Bhoys. I am joined today by Chaz, Aaron, Copley, Cal, Sip, and Jim. So we'll be rounding up game week 2 as we did last week. Main talking points: Man United mudded, Arsenal looking strong, and Spurs securing a point. And without further ado, we'll get right into the proceedings. Obviously, if you do like what you're listening to on Spotify, drop us a follow. Weekly uploads on Monday or Tuesday morning, depending on when it gets out. And also drop a subscription on that YouTube. It helps us out more than you know. So, Chaz, I will go to you with the Arsenal game. I know we did have a Everton Villa in 12:30, but no one really wants to speak about that. So we'll go back to it and we'll make sure it does get covered off. But the Arsenal game, they're looking strong. How was your feelings?
I mean, first thing I want to say is that somehow, some way, the intro to that podcast, Copley smiling, and I've got no idea how he's smiling.
Yeah.
I have not got a clue. So fair play to him for
see it.
smiling, because if I was him, I would not be smiling.
You'll get later in. The face will drop, don't worry.
Arsenal, Leicester. Happy.
Bash.
Simple as that. Happy. I mean, first 45 minutes. Do you know what? Yeah, first 45 minutes, dominant. Completely dominant. Jesus scoring, scoring 2. We played them around the park. It was an extremely comfortable 45 minutes, apart from the potential penalty for Vardy, which was obviously overturned. I've got no complaints about the first 45 minutes whatsoever. And to be honest, I haven't got any real complaints about the second 45 minutes. I mean, we didn't control the game in the second half like how I feel like we should have and how I feel like we are capable of. I actually feel like the 4-2 scoreline is a bit flattering on Leicester's behalf because, I mean, the first Leicester goal was just one of those goals that every team gets where it's just like a goal and you sit there and you think, well, how the fuck have we conceded there? Yeah. And then the Maddison goal was Ramsdale could have done better with it, but that was their only real attack on goal and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm satisfied. I think it was good to see Jesus do the bits. It was Martinelli was fucking incredible, and even Granit Xhaka popped up with a goal. So I'm happy. I reckon Aaron probably feels the same as me, but
yeah, definitely. I was going to go on to Aaron as well because I mean, looking at our own goal, I think Saliba should have done better. Aaron, what were your thoughts on sort of Saliba's own goal?
Bloody harsh on him. I really do.
No, fuck him.
Aaron, if he puts his foot through it, he can send it into Rose Z.
Like, when you look at it, he's stretching. If he leaves it goes straight to Vardy. Like, I don't think there's much more he can. Like, yes, you're probably right. Like, if he was on FIFA, he'll do some stupid bicycle kick and get rid of it. But it's not realistic, and I don't think there's much more he could have done.
no.
You could argue with more experience. He is still, what, 20, 21?
21, yeah.
With more experience, you see a more experienced centre-back deal with that better or differently and therefore better.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I personally feel like he's tried to be too cute with it.
Good finish, though.
Oh, fantastic finish.
Quality finish.
100%.
I think he's kind of knocked it down. I mean, he's playing with so much confidence right now. And I think he's kind of knocked it down, expecting Ramsdale to kind of be there to pick the pieces up. But it's just like positioning from Ramsdale and the way that the ball's come off of his head. I feel like it's just he's tries to be too cute with it. Bit of a fluke. But it is what it is. The best part about it was though is that obviously we went up the other end and scored straight away pretty much. However, from Arteta's comments after the game and from some pundits' comments after the game, like I've seen on Twitter and stuff like that, is that after he'd done it, fans were straight away like clapping him and cheering him on, and it just gives me like a real sense of, in past few years, there hasn't felt like there's been a proper like togetherness with like the squad and the fans and the manager. But it finally, you saw a glimpse of it last season, and definitely at the start of this season, there just seems to be some nice collective togetherness between everyone. So it's nice to see, to be honest.
You saw Ramsdale go straight to him after it, and that just, as you say, brings a lot of togetherness along with the team, and obviously the fans then got behind him as well. So
yeah, exactly. But I mean, bar that, he was once again same as Palace. It was fucking awesome. It was fucking awesome. So Yeah, I mean, I have absolutely, apart from the lack of, I feel like we could have controlled the game better in the second half. You know, I've got no complaints whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was another strong showing for Arsenal. They did really well. I mean, it's nice to see a project, the manager's faith being repaid, project happening, togetherness. Arsenal fans actually not throwing their toys out the pram for once and actually getting behind their players. So a bit of maturity from the Arsenal fans.
Oh, yeah. You have a striker that wants to be a striker.
Yeah,
It's nice.
in contrast to what we've seen in the past with Arsenal fan TV, etc., and grown men throwing a wobbly. But
Crazy.
Yeah.
so I mean, moving on from that fixture, we will go back to the Aston Villa and Everton fixture just to cover it off. I mean, it was 2-1. I'm looking at the scoreline. It wasn't a particularly exciting game. From what I remember, and
with 5 minutes left, Everton were losing and decided to actually start playing football.
Yeah.
Onana looks like a very good sign.
Yeah,
And could
he
be
does.
key to most of good things this year. Villa didn't really didn't look that great, and that's pretty much the summary.
It's just where the fuck are Everton getting goals from again?
Yeah,
Like, the way they
own goals clearly.
whatever they do, and like the build-up play and everything, it's like, right, who is getting who's scoring for you when
Who's on
DCL's
the-
injured?
Yeah.
Like Gordon can't do it on his own. Simple as that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like Rondon, you know? There's a striker in him somewhere.
We'll probably sign him, don't
Look,
worry.
right, look, it says a lot. It says a lot when you've got your backup striker doesn't play when your main striker's injured. So that's what you need to know about Lampard's and Everton's faith in Rondon, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, less said about Rondon, the better, to be honest. Absolutely awful player. Did outscore Anthony Martial last season, though. So,
Shock.
you know, that's our striker. Aside from Ronaldo, but that's one of our strikers, but we'll get to that. So Southampton, Leeds United, obviously one of the 3 o'clockers. One of the more sort of, you'd say, exciting fixtures, but sort of for all the wrong reasons. Leeds United getting a 2-0 lead, and then just somewhat collapsing with Aribo. That goal, by the way, if anyone has everyone seen it, it's filth. It's absolute filth.
I wouldn't say filth. I think it was fucking atrocious. The fact he's almost fucked that up. He's gone round like 2 players. He's got to the keeper 1-on-1. He's basically taken around the keeper and then taken an extra like 3 touches and then hit it off the defender and gone in. You're sat there like shoot,
Composure.
please shoot.
He's so lucky he's managed to meg the keeper on the floor there. Otherwise, the keeper
Pure composure. No, unbelievable.
He's made an absolute. I mean, he's got it in, but he's made an arse out of it.
Am I wrong in saying that it was 0-0 at half time as well? Was that very wrong?
I don't think.
Yeah. I think it was.
Yeah, it was, because we sat there and we went,
well,
0-0.
Oh yes, no, I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
4 goals in 45 minutes. That sounds
an issue for that game for Leeds is Bamford going off injured in the 20th minute. So
that's not good.
I know Rodrigo has dabbled as a striker before he came to Leeds and when he was at Leeds, but I think they put Dan James up front, so that's a bit of a.
Rodrigo also started well.
Yeah, he did score both.
Got 3 and 2.
So,
3 and 2. So, you know, everyone's favourite starting Premier League striker on Ultimate Team. He's scoring some goals for once.
Yeah.
In the FBL.
With Southampton, the only positive you can really take away, because I mean, it is a home fixture for them, is that they didn't go home empty-handed. They did get a point, so, but that's really all that can be said about that. You'd be disappointed if you're Southampton. Those are the fixtures that are going to keep you in the Premier League, and you need to be getting maximum points.
Well, but both those teams are, we across the 7-8 of us with Bran, they've both been in our relegation, or at least one of them has been in our relegation battle, or to be relegated.
If you're a Leeds fan, you're over the moon with the start you've had.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Take 3 points against Wolves and a point against Southampton, and that's a fantastic start for Leeds.
4 points on the board.
Exactly. Especially after their season last season, you know, there was a bit of worry about it, but it's a brilliant start for them.
Yeah, that could be the difference as well when we get in the business end of the season.
Yeah,
so, as well, another fixture. I mean, Brighton Newcastle 0-0. Sort of from watching it, Newcastle. Don't know about the guys covering, but Newcastle sort of did well to keep it a draw. Brighton were pretty much all over them.
Yeah.
And it was a different, from what I can see from Newcastle fans. Sort of, we know it wasn't the same Newcastle like that we had like last week, and that has been performing sort of over the last stretch of the season. It wasn't a great performance, but again, a point at the Amex Park, you got to take that if you're Newcastle, surely.
I think it's one of those games. It's one of those games for them where previous seasons they'd walk away losing 2 or 3-0. And the fact they've come, like you've had clearly a day. I didn't watch the game, but you've had a day. Yeah, you've had a day off at the office, but you've still got a point against the team. Last season finished 9th, I think.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad result considering how you played.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Man City, Bournemouth, absolute dicking.
Couldn't even need to get out of first gear.
Scary.
Much like the chat we had last week about City, West Ham. It's just pointless speaking about them. They simply dominated. In first gear the whole time. The only talking point from the game was the fact that Haaland only had 8 touches. But who cares when you're winning 4-0? It doesn't matter.
That is the thing though. That looks fine when you win, but like there will be games where it won't be like that, which is.
But then how many games a year are you going to get where Haaland does only get 2 passes, 8 touches, and still get an assist out of it?
It was very, very quiet for West Ham touches-wise. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of them things. It looks good when you're winning, but when you don't, Chelsea.
Is it different when Chelsea play the way they do and City can play the way they do and still win 4-0 with their striker?
They played with basically 10 men and they battered them 4-0.
I mean, this bloke, I feel like this bloke hasn't been brought in to play like Kane, and Kane obviously comes short and he's involved. He's there to score goals and he's going to score goals. So
and I mean, to be fair, the only talking point that I can think of is Phil Foden. What are you doing? Not squaring that easiest sweaty goal of your life.
Did you see Pep's post-match interview? And he was like, obviously it's a 4-0 win, blah, blah. And then obviously they mentioned that chance. And he goes, yeah, I'll be talking to Phil.
You had Haaland in his FPL.
And triple captained him with the old, as Aaron said, against Bournemouth. That'd be a triple captain.
I think a lot of people did triple captain him.
Yeah, I captained him. I wish I captained Jesus. Should have stuck to my guns, but it is what it is. We live and we learn.
That was a good pun.
So Wolves Fulham 0-0. Moving on.
I mean, the talking point from that is I think Mitrovic missed a penalty, but also he's a lucky boy to still be on the pitch. I think.
Little scuffle.
Very lucky. But I mean, are we surprised with the way the officiating's been the first 2 weeks? So less about that, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Wolves Fulham will always have just when you say that and you picture it in your mind, you're thinking 0-0, 1-1 at best, maybe even a scrappy header for either side. But Mitrovic did, like we said, Mitrovic missed a penalty and cost him the 3 points ultimately, and he does need to keep a cooler head. So going on to the last match of the final, should we leave this one to the end, or should
let's talk West Ham Forest. Yeah.
We'll let it marinate. We'll let him copy marinade and think about it.
He's a ticking time bomb
I've already seen him smash his desk a few times on Saturday, so we'll give it a second.
It's game week fucking 2 and it's happening. There's so many games.
But we'll let that marinate. So Nottingham Forest West Ham, surprisingly,
this was a controversial, not controversial, but this had everything. It had VAR, hitting the crossbar, disallowed goals,
the crossbar again.
Boys in absolute argument.
Bro, West Ham could have been there for 4 days and they wouldn't have scored.
Well, look, right.
Everything against them.
The simple fact is that Forest got a goal. West Ham had the chance to equalise it, but it was a bad penalty, and you can't say otherwise.
It was a bad penalty. Yeah, weird.
You know what? For the people that do watch this, right, and watch this on YouTube, mention below if you think it was a bad penalty.
Or a fine penalty.
Or a fine penalty.
Or a
bang average penalty.
Because from my point of view, he's gone.
And mine.
It hasn't even hit the part of the foot he wants to hit.
There's no conviction in it. There's no
back end of your foot. He's in
placement in it.
It hasn't even hit like the bottom left corner. It's
Apparently, Ken, this is a fine penalty.
It's a bad penalty.
Wait, are we talking about was a penalty the goal? Like, or
No,
West Ham.
West Ham.
Henderson saved it and had a blinder, by the way.
Henderson saved it
on
the weekend when David De Gea couldn't save anything. Henderson saved it all. It was fun. It made the whole weekend even better.
It literally, we'll get into it later, but it just sums up United.
Yeah.
If there was ever a thing to happen that could sum us up right now, is De Gea has a stinker and Dean has an absolute blinder.
So what is our debate regarding this?
I think it's a fine penalty. It's not a great penalty. It's not a shit penalty. I think it's a fine penalty.
I think it's a bad penalty.
It's a horrific penalty.
It's a pretty bad pen.
It looks scuffed, but I've seen a lot worse. It's not the cleanest.
Without a doubt.
But
it's a bad penalty. Let's put it this way: it ain't Rashford in the Euros final. That was a fucking shocking penalty. However, it's a bad penalty.
Actually, very, very slow.
Actually, Rashford's penalty could be classed better because it sent the keeper the wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
Declan Rice couldn't even do that.
They hit the target, though.
Or hit the corner, or hit it with power.
Anyway, the game, 1-0 Forest.
1-0 Forest. Good victory for Ned Schneebly and the boys.
I saw a stat. It's
game to watch.
It's been 23 years since Forest have been in the Premier League. And obviously, within the first, a lot of people, I think a lot of you put them in to be relegated.
Overachievers.
No,
I think a lot of people. That was the one team that came up to stay up.
Yeah, and to take all 3 points, they're at home, but to take 3 points against West Ham after being
big
out of the Premier League for 23 years.
I consider them. They'd say they were lucky but they could only do what they did, and they did come away with the 3 points.
At the end of the day, West Ham broke more rules than Nottingham Forest, and therefore
West Ham were
terrible.
Oh, by the way, what an assist by Lingard! I'll tell you what, Man United must be.
Brick was fuming as he seen it.
There's 2 ex-United players just absolutely fucking sauce.
No, look.
And the ones that Brick hates. The ones that Brick absolutely
he scuffed his shot.
No,
he
Brick,
scuffed his shot.
That was what they call a disguised pass.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing more.
They got the angles right off the defender's leg as well and everything. Perfect.
No, but seriously though, what a result for Forest, you know.
Fantastic.
In front of their home fans, first home game of the season. And let's be real, West Ham are no Leeds or Wolves or
big team.
Bournemouth. They're a decent team.
Flirting
they were
with
7th last year.
Yeah, flirting continental football consistently.
Yeah,
I've just watched that goal back for Nottingham Forest. That was without a doubt the worst goal we'll see. From start to finish, that is absolutely.
The first half, Forest actually were quite good, to be fair.
The second
half they were more sat back a bit, but the first half they did deserve their goal.
Yeah, but West Ham are confusing me. Like you pay. I understand that maybe he's not ready yet, but you pay 40 million for a striker. I mean, you start Antonio, who, let's be real, he's not a striker.
Yeah.
I don't know what he does. He doesn't score. I mean, he had a brief period where he scored a few times, but he doesn't score. His hold-up play is poor. So
he's not got good link-up play.
It's confusing.
You know what he does? He fouls people off the ball to cause their goal being overturned. That's what he does. Shout out Mikel Antonio.
And then so West Ham needs to get their act together.
I think as well. Bowen last year was Bowen last year dragged them through, and obviously you can't say it's a slow start. It's 2 weeks in, but Benrahma today looked very good. Who was on the bench last week?
They got Cornet as well, who I would assume is going to start from at some point.
Yeah, I don't know if he gets ahead of Cresswell. Yeah, that's what I mean. Cresswell
would be ahead of Cresswell.
Yeah,
Cresswell does he takes all their set pieces as well, which is not the penalties, but
Maybe he should.
Maybe he should.
He hit a couple of rocket free kicks. He was unlucky not to score. To be fair,
yeah.
I think he took all 3 in the end, and
one grazed the top of the net.
Yeah, one grazed top of the net. I think one of them hit the crossbar. Maybe I don't know.
So I'll tell you one positive for Sam was Benrahma.
I like him a lot. I don't know why.
But my underachiever shout for West Ham is looking all right.
It's looking tasty so far.
We're taking it. Southampton being bad and West Ham underachieving. It's looking good.
Yeah. It's looking good, bruv. It's looking good.
I said Wolves underachieving, so I'm happy with that so far as well.
We're working.
So, to the penultimate game that we'll be talking about, Chelsea at the Bridge against the mighty Spurs. To give some background to it, Spurs are coming in off their past 7 games, is it Sipple? Not scoring a single goal. And It's 2-2.
Up until about 20 minutes before their goal, they had gone 711 minutes without scoring a goal against Chelsea.
Cool.
Yeah.
What a stat.
Now, see, I know there is a lot to take, like a lot to discuss, and we weren't good. But unfortunately, a draw at Stamford Bridge with a 95th minute winner, there isn't much more we could have asked for in the back end of that game.
Yeah.
Big equaliser. Wait, what did I say?
Winner.
Oh, equaliser. Yeah, it's the same thing, really, isn't it?
The emotions are still there.
But a 95th minute equaliser at Stamford Bridge, when obviously the game had been as far as it had, like it is pretty unreal.
I think a lot of us as well thought Spurs wouldn't walk over them, but the performance you had last week and the performance Chelsea had, you were favourites, but it's one of those games where teams, like, no matter how well you're playing, it's going to be one of those games, yeah.
I think we've won there once in 30 years.
Chelsea at home.
It's like Arsenal Spurs. I've always said, no matter how the teams are both playing, that game
goes
could
out the window.
just completely goes out the window.
Is it like, this year is a massive year for Spurs. Yeah, it's a massive year. Is like the result is it's a great result. Away from home, a place that you just don't do well at, to get a point. Last minute equaliser, fans going mental. Good for them. But like, is it somewhat paper over the cracks? Because let's be honest, you say yourself they were bad. Spurs weren't just bad. Spurs were fucking awful. Yeah. They were. They looked fucking awful. And is it not worrying, but is it a bit frustrating that you've watched that performance and you saw what happened? You're like, that's a bit shit, that is.
Yeah, like obviously, like I said before the game, I'm never confident, but this was the time that I felt that we'd catch them at the right time. Yeah. But obviously, Chelsea were chalk and cheese from last week. Chelsea were fucking phenomenal today. To a single man, they were all, bar maybe like the likes of Havertz, who didn't like, I can't really think of much, but for the most part, as a squad from back to front, they were absolute. Like,
they were unreal.
Cucurella was extraordinary today. Like,
Kante,
genuinely
James,
unbelievable.
So many of them.
So and but obviously, it's disappointing. Sessegnon in the first half was just getting absolutely overwhelmed. It just what, but when Perisic came on, obviously Perisic provided the corner for the equaliser. Our midfield was getting overrun massively. Basuma came on, and already like there was at one point there was like a cutback into the box, and he was there to cut it out, which Højbjerg and Bentancur just got overwhelmed massively. So hopefully now this is like a let's now play the players that we've bought. Do you know what I mean? And Perisic on and Basuma into that lineup.
I also think to everyone that questioned Kante last season, Kante was head and shoulders above everyone on that pitch.
It was phenomenal.
It was fucking unreal.
But
beautiful, sensational.
He done hammy.
Gone again.
They put a hammy, which is
and then they got a free kick for it. The ref was a bastard.
The thing is, before the game starts, if you said to Kieran like 2-2 draw, he'd fucking be on his knees biting your hand off.
Especially in that sense as well.
If they said Chelsea were gonna play unbelievable, Spurs are going to play terrible, and you're still going to get a 2-2 draw, you would absolutely take that.
And that's the thing. There's been so many times in the past we've played well and not get the result. So I'll absolutely take playing poorly and still taking a point. It's
I mean, also, blessings happen in football, and sometimes you just have to count your blessings. However, in the 95th minute, Romero should not be on that pitch.
I think it's a red.
It's a red. It is a straight red card.
It's definitely a free kick, and that has to be given.
It's a straight red card.
It's violent conduct.
As a Spurs, like,
carry on, mate.
100%.
Sorry. Go on. No, that's your show. The Brick Show. No, it's violent conduct, and there's no arguing with it in my eyes.
If he had a skin fade, though, he wouldn't have anything to grip onto. Though.
This is what I'm saying.
If he's pulled his shirt and dragged him down, it wouldn't be a red as well.
No, of course it wouldn't. But he's physically grabbed his hair.
I think it's a harsh red, but it definitely has to be given a foul. I don't think.
Have you guys thought of the potential chance where Romero was running? He's going to attack the ball, and as he's trying to glide with his hands up, he's caught it in Cucurella's head.
All curly. No, it's all curly.
The ball hadn't even been fucking.
From a standing point, Romero has glided through the air. His hands got caught in Cucurella, and Cucurella took his fingernail off.
These
Romero's
things
in pain.
happen. These things do happen.
They don't. They absolutely don't.
It's a 1 in a million thing, Cal. But
every team has decisions that go for them and go against them, and you got to say this decision is something that definitely went for them. And to go and score from that corner as well.
It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
Unfortunately, my hatred for Chelsea is so high that I really don't.
Shouldn't have happened to a nicer team.
We will have that go against us, and I'll be alright, and people will quote and say you didn't mind then, which is fine. But yes, that is Romero, unfortunately.
Do you think it was a red card, though?
Yeah,
right. That's all you need to say.
I don't think he could have had much complaint. Put it that way.
Exactly. I don't think any Spurs fans have complained.
The only thing that helps him is that it was in their box. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like.
I don't know if they can't overturn it or something unless they're given a straight red.
Let's not give them ideas.
But as well, the first one was controversial.
Yeah.
To your first goal as well. Like the referee he had a bit of a stinker.
But
I don't know. I didn't see if he won the ball or not, but
no,
I didn't.
If they slowed it down, it would have showed Bentancur getting the ball.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He's cleaned him out and he's gone pretty much through the back or side of him, but his foot touches the ball first.
Yeah.
And the fact that fans, like Chelsea fans, wanted that brought back when it happened, I'd love to see the actual
you can never bring it back.
Yeah, you
because
can't.
it had to have been at least 90 seconds since the incident.
I feel like it's one of those challenges where if that was Havertz on, Son, you as a Spurs fan would be irate that it wasn't given. It's just one of those ones,
Yeah, but boss, but when you see the replay, you go, for fuck's sake, he's touched the ball. Do you know what I mean? And
how many times do we see a player he's kind of come around up the back of him and like kind of clawed his leg?
Has he cleaned the player out?
Mate,
then got the ball.
No. He got the
his legs gone around like the side.
He got the most minimal of touches on the ball. In my opinion, it was a free kick.
I didn't think it was a free kick.
But yeah,
I mean, it depends if I didn't see it. But if he cleans the guy out, then gets the ball, then obviously, yeah.
I didn't clean through him. He goes around the side almost.
We'll have a live view.
I think it's.
I'm about to say, if you look in the chat, I'll put some
It's one of those ones where if it's given for you or given against you,
I can't really tell from that, but yeah.
You absolutely
the video. You can see the video.
If it's not given on the other, you're not going to make
any.
He
doesn't get that much of the player first. He does.
I think that's fine.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think that's fine.
Yeah. He wins the ball, and then the player goes down.
But then again,
you win the ball. You win the ball. Don't care if it's minimal contact with the ball.
It goes back to the point of how far will VAR go back?
You
can't go that far back.
Never.
When does the build-up start for the goal?
I also think Bentancur was having a little argy-bargy with him prior to the challenge as well.
Yes.
I would never have wanted it to go back and the goal get conceded. But I personally think that in the moment in time when the little argy-bargy arms all over the gaff and then the tackle happened, I do think the ref should have blew up.
100%.
There would have been much argument.
I think the time for pulling it back went, and then obviously Spurs did unfortunately score with a Højbjerg banger. Absolute banger, drilled it in bottom corner. Koulibaly couldn't do anything. Mendy,
that Koulibaly finish.
Yeah, that goal was ridiculous.
It was.
For anyone that watched it, I was just like, "That is a sensation!" Like you can't even be fuming at that. It's just like unbelievable. But
you can be fuming at the fucking defending.
Yeah. It does pose the question: can you get a red card for foreplay with Cucurella though? Because all that happened was just a bit of a hair fault. Like in some circumstances. That'd be welcomed, and then in other ones, you know what I mean? There's a balance.
And it's kinky, but on the football pitch,
it's
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think, and I mean, as a sort of Spurs fan, Loney, great debut, fantastic. The limbs that were thrown in the Discord whilst we were watching it was unbelievable. Spurs on top. We're in the top 4.
But also. Just quickly. Obviously, everyone knows Spurs played awful, but second week in a row now where, let's be fair, Kane and Son non-existent again.
Yeah.
So I have no doubt in my mind that give it a few more games or next game or whatever, and they'll be on it. But it's not what you want to see.
It's not. But again, in the same light. we've taken a point from Chelsea with them playing that poor. But
exactly.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be that lucky. But like I said, if we make the changes with the likes of Perisic and Basuma coming in, the whole thing should flow a little bit better.
As bad as you say they were, and as much praise as Chelsea have received, it is interesting how many chances they actually had on target, though, for how well they've apparently played.
Sterling missed an absolute sitter. Well, I say sitter.
Yeah.
Still
Havertz missed a sitter.
He blasted it, yeah.
That ball by Reece James was disgusting.
Yeah.
That was perfect. Like, he couldn't have done it any better.
That was outrageous. Outrageous.
But yeah, we need to be better. But unfortunately, a point at the bridge we will never turn down, and that's all you can really take from it. And referees shite.
Yeah. And when Spurs went into a fullback, they conceded straight away.
Yeah, 5-back tax,
which I quite enjoyed.
Yeah,
5-back tax is real.
It's real.
Right, do we get onto the main topic now?
And we're going to end the show here. So
real.
So yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to address the elephant in the room. It is topic number 1 on the roundup list that is over there. Man United mudded. Yes, absolutely mudded. I think 4-0 Brentford, first of all, at Brentford. Thomas Frank will prevail in. The only thing that I can sum up as a Man United fan, obviously on loan with Spurs for the season, but this was my last game as a Man United fan. All I could just say to that is just fuck. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just that 30 minutes was probably the worst. I was just sat there and it was like an out of body experience. I was like, this cannot be happening right now. I'm seeing De Gea go back to when he had just signed for us, where he's making absolute howlers.
That De Gea howler, by the way, was
disgraceful.
Appalling.
If you want to see the boys' reaction, go to our TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely. Link down below, guys. Down below.
I quite enjoyed it.
I spoke a lot about United last week.
Copley's about to say that it wasn't that bad.
30 seconds.
No.
I spoke a lot about. I spoke a lot about United last week. I'm gonna let the boys speak more about it this week. But all you need to know is that a £55 million Brentford side looked like they had more quality. Looked like they wanted to be there, looked like they actually enjoyed playing football, and looked like they are working for the manager compared to a £500 million United side, and that's just simply not fucking good enough. Not one bit.
Hearing a few of you talk about United there has genuinely got my heart racing. Like, I don't think I understand Copley's quite an emotional bloke when it comes to Manchester United. I get it.
Is he?
But
I'm numb to it at this point.
I have not felt this way about United for years. I've sat through the Ollie era, Van Gaal's era, even after Fergie when Moyes was in. I've been through all and I'm borderline speechless at the mud that Manchester United are in at the minute. It's as simple as the players not performing, but it goes as far to the owners and the entire board and the recruitment. It's the entire club is absolutely fucked.
Let's take the owners out of this for 1 second, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Regardless of owners, right? Them players, some of them players there are boyhood Man United fans, right? And the sheer lack of passion, want, drive. I'm sorry, right? That is nothing to do with fucking owners. Yeah, the whole recruitment and stuff like that. That is on the Glazers and whatever. Yeah, and United fans and pundits that they can want the Glazers out. That's understandable. But those 11 players on the pitch and those subs that come on, yeah, they are not playing for the Glazers, right? They should want to play. They're playing for fucking Manchester United, and they just don't look like they want to play football. It's crazy.
It goes as deep like. A poor performance you can forgive. You've had a week or you've had a bad week, you've had a bad 2 weeks, whatever. The attitude that, like, obviously Ronaldo's in the headlines every week, every day. That's expected when you are of his size in fame. But it's as simple as Rashford, even Sancho, who I know Charlie's mentioned a few times, is our big money signing over the last couple of years. Fred. Maguire as the club captain. Luke Shaw, you don't hear anything from him. You don't see him doing anything on the pitch.
Terrible.
Even De Gea, he's been in the club. He's been in the club, 11, 12 years, I think now? Maybe even 13. I'm not too sure off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But every single player they show, as Chaz just said, you can forgive a bad performance every week or every other week or whatever. that's happened. We're human. But it's the attitude that you show. Yeah, sure, you can apologise to the fans, but how many fucking times do you need to do that until something changes? It's deep-rooted of the toxicity in that club, where it goes to the dressing room, the coaching staff, the recruitment team, everyone underneath the Manchester United name is some fucking horrific attitude, just everything. Their day-to-day jobs.
It's poison.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's horrific.
I think it's funny.
I love it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong,
Great.
I enjoy it, but like you got outrun by Brentford by about 15 kilometers. I'm pretty sure, like give or take. And last week during the Brighton game, I just kept saying every second ball United players aren't at it. And obviously, we tweeted it. And before the game, I went, "There's no way they are as bad as that again because this is United." And there is no way.
You said it.
There is no way they should be. But again, when your fans are looking to you to respond to a bad week, and you go and somehow do less. Like
the thing is, it will inevitably go back to Ten Hag, which obviously he's the manager, he's the one controlling the team. I get that, but with how, as I said earlier, with how poor it is through to the root of the club, you cannot blame Ten Hag for not being able to implement his system onto that squad of 25 to 30 players.
It's such a short period. You
cannot look at him and be like, well, right, why aren't they doing a team press? Why are they not doing this? Why are the attacking fullbacks not going up? Because he's had 6 weeks and 2 game weeks.
But what you can,
I don't think he gets scot-free. He doesn't get away scot-free.
No, of course not. He's the manager.
To put Christian Eriksen as a number 6 is one of the most naive things I've ever seen from a Premier League manager. That in itself is just fucking ludicrous.
As Coppers, have you got any thoughts, mate?
I've got a few that
Point number one.
Point number one. I don't think you'll find a single team, considering Liverpool, maybe we're the biggest club in England by far. Top 3, whatever you want to say, you would struggle to find a team in the top 4 leagues of English football that have less heart and desire to work for a team. And considering you're playing at the team you're playing at is criminal in itself. Like that is, I just cannot believe it. Second thing that pissed me off massively that I've felt has gone under the radar. After De Gea's fucking howler, his interview, he says about how he lost the game after that 1 goal. And I think that speaks a lot about the club and the players' mentality. That
Heads down.
one mistake early on, and they think they've lost the game.
Yeah.
That speaks. Oh yeah, the first mistake.
Yeah,
he thinks he's lost in the game. That speaks so much about this team and just the players' mentality.
There's no captain
their lack of just fucking bollocks.
There's Maguire.
They have no heart.
He's not picking them up. The goal's gone in. Maguire's going around like getting everyone up. No, like Ronaldo getting it. They're just heads down.
If you want a prime example from that game of mentality, it is a Brentford corner, and that Mbeumo has ran the whole fucking pitch. He has sprinted past numerous players, and he has busted his bollock off to get back and get that ball back. And the reception that he got from the crowd is what he deserved, because he busted his bollock off. But 30 seconds prior, Rashford's on a Sunday afternoon jog when his team are under pressure, and it's embarrassing.
The worst thing is that has nothing to do with ability.
No,
that is zero to do with your footballing ability. We've said it a few times, but you take your Brentford 11, United 11, you'd think the United 11 player-wise is better, but you would take probably all 11 of the Brentford players at that point just because they have a bit about them. Yeah. You don't need to be good at football to run.
Yeah, unless if you take the Brentford players, you've got a player over 6 foot at the back. So that's always a bonus, I guess.
But
that goes nice onto Martinez and his height. I guess that's where you're going with it.
He cannot, and he will not succeed as a centre back in the Premier League.
I feel like we've seen it before I don't know who or with what club. I feel like I've heard like this story before with another club, but despite having, I think he had the best aerial duels in there.
What the fuck is going on in that league? Because
that's the thing.
They must all be tiny.
Exactly, but it does beg the question on Well, assuming you're moving probably up to the DM.
Move him to 6.
The thing is, he looks
comfortable with the
he
ball.
looks good on the ball. He can make a
He's
tackle.
He's
He
good
could
with
be
his
a
feet.
6.
He's also he's also a
What do we really fucking need? Oh, 6.
Yeah. It's like, do you know what? Right? You think to yourself, every single tall player, every single team that have a tall player up front are gonna focus Martinez, right? And that's understandable, right? But even when United are playing Arsenal and Leicester with like Vardy and Jesus, if I'm Jesus or Vardy, I'm still fucking fancying my chances against him because he, when you actually, everyone knows that he's small, but when you see like a corner, he looks like a winger. He looks like a winger.
He does.
Back post, he's tried to jump, and Ben Mee's just standing there, and he can't get near the ball.
Well, that's the thing. He didn't even jump.
Backwards.
I'm pretty sure Martinez. I'm pretty sure he was caught. He was caught flat-footed. So again, it's not the point. Arguably, he's probably still too small for the Premier League, right? To play at centre back.
To be a centre back,
yeah, to be a centre back.
I think he could do a job at 6.
I think he would be fucking. I think he would be.
But like, you also have to take into consideration. We've seen it so many times with players. Like, again, go back to being too small, but he's still adapting to not only a new team, the same manager. But no. I'm not making excuses for him. Potentially not succeeding as a Premier League centre back, but you still need to adapt to the physicality and the speed of the Premier League. A lot of players take quite a while to. I'm not saying Martinez will. I think he'll probably adapt once he finds his position.
No,
that's like Sip trying to defend against me. It's just never going to go well in the air.
No,
I think you saw the difference when Varane came on. You could see the difference, and Varane for me looks a bit shaky sometimes on the ball, but you could see like how much more comfortable we were dealing with these long balls.
But we see every time Varane comes on as a sub, like especially last season.
It's criminal he's coming on as a sub.
Yeah, because he's always injured or he's just lacking fitness or whatever. Yeah. But the fact that when he does come on, the team does look more. It's almost like they're confident with their back line, and the fact that they're not, assuming they're not confident with their back line without him, speaks again volumes.
They're not confident because Harry Maguire's playing.
It won't help Martinez that we have to that we have to sit so deep, and therefore these long balls can be so near the edge of our box. For Martinez to have to try and win is so much harder.
Yeah.
All I was going to say is the thing is as well. Obviously, you're crying out for a 6, and then you go, okay. You put Martinez up there, and it's not as if you then have to bring on Phil Jones at centre. You bring 4-time Champions League winning Varane,
who should be starting, and clearly was fit enough because he came out at half time.
Exactly. So it's like it's almost like your solution's there. Do you know what I mean? I thought obviously that this Frankie thing's going on for forever, but if you weren't to get him, you just do that. I don't know why that is the thing. And obviously, Ben Mee was falling backwards and still managed to get him in the air.
And like as sort of a Man United fan. This is quite sort of new.
United fan?
This is my last game, obviously. For season long loan now, deadline day move. But like as a United fan, like we're not used to, especially if you're sort of born and our age, you're not used to having our team be this horrendous as well. We're used to being winners and everything like that. And I was just gonna say, like, Aaron, obviously you're reveling in it right now, but you've also got to be thinking, this is exactly what I've been through for the past 5 years. So do you have any advice for Callum Copley on how we cope with this mentally? Because
buckle up and enjoy.
I don't see a way out.
F4.
Near future.
F4 is the only thing I can. I mean, I did it for the Spurs game last year. Holding ruined my Thursday, and I turned the stream off for you lot, and I went downstairs and sulked. And I said it. I said it when I was covering the game. I had loads of messages saying, "I can't believe you're not laughing." Believe me, I wanted to, but I genuinely felt bad sitting there.
I was crying.
You could see the pain in his face, mate. McTominay came on and couldn't string a fucking 5-yard pass.
I'm going to say that is the worst 30 minutes of football any footballer has ever given. It's definitely up there. The miscontrol to then give away a yellow card, the multiple 4 to 5 yard passes you cannot make. I can't believe it.
We said it in the pre-season podcast.
Every one of us can make a 5-yard pass.
We said it in the pre-season podcast. Like, I said it. I was like, look, I experienced this 2 years ago, and I was just like, you are now in a process, and this year is, as you can see, this year is without a doubt it should be without a doubt a free hit for United, yeah, but. It's
just how free of a hit. Like,
I mean, as a Liverpool fan, I've experienced this heavily.
I was about to say, this is my life you're talking about, you lot. So I don't plead for any of you.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, like I grew up being told, like, yeah, you used to be this good, but now you're fucking dog shit. You get bullied by every team around you because you claim to be a big team, but you're dog shit. You got Roy Hodgson signing Barini, Lambert, Balotelli. You know, I was in a hole. No. It does get better though, and it will get better.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is just completely off topic. I've just seen Chelsea fans have made a petition for Anthony Taylor to never officiate a game. It has 18,000 signatures already.
I'd sign that. He was fucking dreadful. He was awful.
18,000.
And just on the topic of going off topic, much like last week, I said last week how I'm a massive fan of Nuno Tavares, who's obviously on loan to Marseille. He has indeed just scored again.
Again,
like last week. Fair play to him.
Screamer.
He's tearing it. No, it wasn't a screamer. It was a good run, good finish. But what a superstar.
What a player! You've always rated him.
Exactly.
I genuinely hope what has happened to Saliba happens to him, mate. If he comes back and is a different left back, I'll be buzzing, absolutely buzzing.
Anyway,
but Manchester United are in a lot of trouble.
I said this earlier with Arsenal. Like, it got funny. It was like, but I did see like the way out. Eventually, maybe because it's my club and I'm in that position. I just think the whole, as Cal mentioned, the whole club is rotten.
Yes.
And there's so, like, you can change players, yes, but there is so much that needs changing.
The thing is, if the board, it's like, for example, Ten Hag got 150 million transfer budget and was only given more money if he made the sales. We got rid of, was it 8 players? One being Pogba, who's on probably one of our top earners. Matic is probably on a big chunk. Lingard was on at least 150, if not a little bit more. That's Cavani, that's another. Yeah, Mata.
And these aren't just players. I mean, Mata, but these aren't just like random little players. They were a big part of the squad.
Big parts, big characters.
And you've lost them and not replaced even half of them. I had the run at the start. It's criminal.
As we said in the pre-season, we'd signed Malacia, who's a left back, who's a young left back, probably will be starting starting, I reckon.
It'll be starting against Liverpool next week. Let's put it that way.
Well,
if there's a silver lining again from that game, it was him when he came on. If anything,
Luke Shaw was bad last week. Luke Shaw this week was fucking horrific.
He was awful.
Again, to then replace those 8 players, we've had him, Martinez, who again I think he will be a big part of our club eventually when he finds his position and finds the style that works for him.
So.
And the other person
be a big part this time.
Who's the other geezer?
5'7" part.
Ericsson, of course, who's going to retire in 2 years or 3.
Who should also start? I don't think.
Who should?
Bruno and Ericsson, unless you're dominating, you're 2 or 3-0 up. Bruno and Ericsson shouldn't start together. Ericsson should be starting.
Never.
Bruno, last year we said how bad he was, but Ericsson deserves a chance to be there.
So despite signing those 3 players, we still need a DM, which we've needed for the last 3 years.
Yep.
We probably need a right back because Dalot probably isn't up. Well, from
he was
even a backup. Yeah. Even a backup.
Even a backup. Yeah, because Wan-Bissaka is obviously not good enough. Doesn't fit the system, and Dalot is not.
He hasn't had a good start.
We then probably need a keeper because we'll let go of Dean Henderson. We will let go of Dean Henderson. He'll come back on. I think he'll have a year left in his contract when he comes back from loan. And he won't re-sign. You either get 5 million for him or he sees the end of his contract out. We then need a right winger to support Sancho because it is Sancho and Elanga is not top half Premier League ready. Maybe not in Premier League ready. I don't know yet. And then we need a striker because we've got a 37-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo who doesn't want to be at the club. We've got a 27-year-old Martial.
It's a coin flip that isn't 50-50.
You're going off his pre-season.
It's a coin that lands on shit every single time.
It's a coin that's heavier on one side.
Like,
not the good side.
It's fucked.
You're in danger.
The fact you said it just sums it up when you said we haven't had this DM signed for 3 or 4 years, and these other positions we can see are creeping up, and we're still focusing on the CDM for 3 or 4 years. And instead, we are linked to fucking Rabiot. And at this point, Rabiot is a body that's going to change the team. But fuck me, is it shite. Juventus have got Pogba back off us for free. after we've bought him for 90, 85, whatever million, and we're going to give him 15 to 20 million for fucking Rabiot. They are laughing at
They
us.
are, mate. They are.
Yeah,
I saw some
they
They have
reports saying
pulled our
that.
pants down and seen a little winker.
I saw a report saying that they couldn't believe
breeze.
it. It's like they could not believe it.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
Obviously, I think Ten Hag said yesterday, the day before, when in an interview, saying does him and the boards see eye to eye with their transfers and whatnot? And obviously, he has to say yes. If he says no, because I think that's pretty much what Rangnick did, and all of a sudden he doesn't have a job. Well, surprise, surprise.
No way he
But-
can be happy. There is no
What-
chance.
There's not a
Yeah.
chance.
What I did like about Ten Hag's interview after is that he came out and he, in the nicest way possible, slated his players.
Yeah, don't protect them. And
he didn't protect them.
After a
And
performance
I
like
respect that.
Other managers have done that.
Yeah.
Ollie would have protected them to the deathbed.
But Ollie also got them second.
But Ralph also did that. He slated them, and a lot of people laughed at him when he said what we needed, and he was fucking bang on the head right.
But then it goes back to how rotten the club in terms of staff and coaching is the fact that Rangnick had suggested Sesko, Nunes, who is now at Liverpool, Vlahovic, who's at Juventus, and Alvarez, who's now at City. All big, not big money signings, but they're all big prospects.
Could have got them early doors.
He's also said about Lima, defensive mid, Gvardiol is a centre back for Leipzig. There was a lot of Leipzig players, and Cuckoo being another one because I know he used to work there, but all players that we've mentioned.
Yeah.
And yet we're sat here in our rooms mentioning them, and these people getting paid a stupid amount of money can't. What the fuck are you doing?
Who have you got next? That wasn't even a wind up. I was just trying to think of where like the light.
I can't wait.
Kind of was.
The next,
I think what you want to see is as sort of as a Man United fan moving forwards. What you want to see is you want to see some passion. You want to see some desire from the players.
Passion.
Yes, it's gonna be a bumpy ride like this season, but we need like people and players that are in this club and they're fighting. Malacia, as an example, he was fighting, he was aggressive, and it's not the Hannibal aggressive where he's just hacking people. He's shouting at other players. He's demanding standards. We don't need a 37-year-old world class forward dropping. So I mean, there was reports about Ronaldo and the sort of staff and the coaching staff and everyone saying that they want to terminate his contract. And looking at it, I'm like, I mean, if he's part of the problem, you've got to make that business decision. Obviously, the owners probably don't want it. I know it's been rubbish, but like
the shirt sales aren't. I
don't think it's even as much as just terminating the contract. He doesn't want to be there full stop, and he's making it very clear. And I don't think he's part of the problem either. As we said, he scored, I think it was 14, 18 goals last year.
But he is part of the problem if he can't see his role in the project, and that this project is going to supersede his needs. And he thinks he's bigger than what the project is and what the club is, then he needs to fuck off. Like, genuinely, he needs
can't
to
be a
fuck
part
off.
of the project.
He needs to go. He needs to go.
If Ronaldo stays, then if Ronaldo stays and Ten Hag has to use him or whatever, then instantly Ten Hag's project is put on pause for a season.
Until Ronaldo goes, you can't rebuild. This is why I've said he should accept the role of being on the bench and let the club try and build their future. But unfortunately,
100%.
Ideal world, he would, but
but he won't because his ego.
Come on, in the 70th minute, he could run around for 30 minutes and actually press. But
an ideal world, he goes, so this isn't toxic because
the next issue is he goes. Martial starts. No. Martial then starts. Martial gets injured. Who plays up front?
Exactly.
Charlie McNeil.
Can I just say, by the way, that pass from Ivan Toney for that fourth goal for Brentford.
Yeah, do you know what?
One of the best. United were bad, but Brentford were unbelievable.
We should say nothing away from Brentford. They outclassed, they outran, they outperformed us in every aspect of the game.
I may start crying.
But
they do deserve that.
But Luke Shaw, he may be a slightly tubby, but he's not He's quicker than that.
Mark Goldbridge
refuse to
summed
be
it
told
up.
otherwise.
Mark Goldbridge summed up. It looked like he had 10 pints last night.
Yeah, literally.
Like
Luke Shaw is not that slow. We saw when he was playing for England, obviously in the Euros last year. Even last season, he had a decent season. But season before. But he should never ever be losing that duel.
Always. Yeah.
No,
Bro.
absolutely not. In any universe.
Choppers, what's up?
Tony is the fuck.
He's the answer.
Exciting.
He's perfect.
He's not tall. He's not tall, but he's
strong.
physical. He's a physical presence. He can work hard. He can link up play. He's got a ball like that. Like fuck me.
He can play with
and
his
he can
legs as well.
finish.
And more
It
importantly,
baffles me.
right, and more
Why?
importantly, you take away all the qualities, and he is a Ten Hag player that fits the system that Ten Hag likes to play, which is, it's what Arteta's done. He's brought in players that fit Arteta's system, right?
Yeah.
Tony is by no means the best striker in the world, but he's a striker that is Ten Hag's profile that will play the way that Ten Hag wants him to play. And do you know what? It just makes too much fucking sense.
Yeah. I
understand.
understand. I understand why he wants. We've discussed why he wants to bring in players from the Dutch league, Ajax especially, because they know, because obviously he's trying to rebuild everything. He wants people that already know what he wants, essentially. But someone like that is just.
I mean,
who's saying no? Why are we saying? Not even asking.
Brentford played similar to how Ten Hag was meant to play, like high pressure, striker that links up well, big physical presence. Like he wouldn't even need to adapt that much. He would be so perfect.
Your team is so short as well. Bar Maguire and Ronaldo.
We said it in the watch long, didn't we? From set pieces, they're fucked.
We've lost Matic. McTominay isn't a player. He's not allowed on the pitch. He's 6'3".
An alien. He's an alien.
I think we got Rashford's probably. Yeah, we lost Pogba. Rashford's probably a little bit taller, but probably won't. He's probably allergic to our box.
Rashford annoys me.
Sancho, Fred, Martinez.
Sancho, the rest of them. Shaw, Malacia, Dallo, all smaller.
If we come away from not even match performance, but if we come away and just think like the only thing that matters about you is like your match performance and your attitude, whatnot. It gets to a point with Rashford where.
He annoyed me.
You're almost borderline concerned about him as a person, as a human being. Like obviously, because we saw like obviously when he started coming through, like he was arguably at the time one of the best youngsters, maybe even the best players in the league. And I don't think a lot of people can argue with that. But now obviously we're going to our third season with him being
terrified,
barely Premier League ready.
He is terrified to take on a player.
Obviously, we see throughout the year, throughout pre-season, throughout everything, we see him go hit the gym. He has changed a lot in his body. He's become more muscly, more bulky, but he's not getting the performances.
That's the thing. Just
you come away from football and it's borderline concerning. Like what is going on?
He can have a goal drought. But to not show the effort,
to not run back is just
he's in danger of becoming another Dele Alli, and I don't think that's completely out of the realms of possibility.
Completely reasonable.
Because
he's closer to it than not to it.
Yeah, but because if you like with Dele, it doesn't look like he's a footballer anymore, and like we've said repeatedly, with good dribblers, they try a dribble and they do it until it works. But with Rashford, he's so scared, and I think that's obviously part of the problem with like the fan base of where they're so frustrated. But he gets the ball and he does. He is the best flip flapper I've ever seen. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he has them in his locker, but he just doesn't. He's in big trouble.
I thought this season was going to be the one where he kicked back to his form.
I think everyone did.
It could be at Leicester in 2 years, and that's not even.
Yeah, I think if you're a United person, PSG coming an offer in January, you're like,
please
if it's 40, 50 mil, if we're getting that. I think it's good for him and us at this point. I think last year there was a lot of people saying just get out. I wasn't too keen on it too early, but if the same thing's repeating again and again, you can't expect a different outcome at this point.
There's only so much you can put up with it.
Yeah.
We're not asking for much. We're just asking you to move your legs a bit.
Going a bit rogue again and talking about wingers and how Sip said he might end up at Leicester, and talking about like how Rashford's so scared to take on players. Martinelli against Fofana was an absolute dream to watch. Because Martinelli basically put Fofana on a school stage in front of the whole school and just pulled his pants down. But like it was incredible. Like,
isn't that Chelsea's new £8 million
well, apparently
He'll do fine. He'll be perfect at Chelsea.
Probably, yeah.
He'll sit in that 5 back because Leicester were. I mean, he shouldn't have been skinned as much as he was. Martinelli had him on ropes, but the way Leicester were set up was embarrassing with their one. It was just everyone was 1-on-1, but he'll sit into that slot in that 5 back and he'll love his life.
But then you see the shit like from Martinelli's point of view, the sheer want to just get at the defenders. You know, that's what he's in the team. Exactly, and he was fucking awesome.
He was unreal.
He was unreal. Yeah, you put the two side by side, and it's like Martinelli. You watch Martinelli. He is this flair player. He takes players on and he doesn't stop. But that's not all his game. He then, if he fucks up or if the defense needs him, he's right back there at the click of a finger, literally getting in there and putting pressure on. I've seen Sancho and Rashford jog back up and not apply pressure and allow a ball to be whipped in to an already short defense. And it's just like, come on, just literally apply a bit of pressure. Like, this is your job. This is literally your job.
A dream job.
Just do it.
Arsenal's fourth goal summed that up. Was it your fourth goal or third goal? Where he's I don't know what the fucking Leicester player's doing waiting that long for the ball. But he just sprints back, gets the ball, gives it, bang, goal. Jesus
to Martinelli.
Yeah.
Martinelli scored the goal.
Martinelli scored it? Yeah.
Yeah, he scored it.
But,
fantastic finish
it comes to the point where, you're not getting the ball, Rashford Sancho. Like, fine. But are you doing anything to get the ball back? No.
Football is a game of two halves. It is what you do on the ball and it's what you do off the ball. And United off the ball are
Sunday League.
One of the worst teams in the league.
Bottom half, lower team in the Premier League.
One of the worst teams in the league.
And right now on the ball as well, but mainly.
League 1 and 2 teams will have more.
Well, I think you said it earlier.
Football.
You said it earlier. Out of the 96
in the top 4 leagues in
the
this
96 teams in the league, United
definitely bottom 5% of players who actually have a bit.
Mate, I see better football at the 3 fucking stand stadium at the Kassam over at Oxford, like compared to United.
And you're sat in a lawn chair.
Yeah, literally. Someone could literally park up, put an RV on, put a camping chair on top of the RV and have a free get. And they'd still get a better standard of football compared to Man United.
They still get players who want to play more. They're not even getting paid.
Yeah, people fork out much money
they were out till 4 a.m. the night before.
Yeah, like people. But the thing is, people fork out so much money to watch Man United play, to do this and do that. For the players to not even give their all, it's such a disservice to the fans. And Erik ten Hag is 100% justified in saying, "Look, my bad, I fucked some shit up. But those players need to be doing so much more for me." I think he handled that press conference in the best way that he possibly could. He was like, "Yeah, look, it's a very bad result. I have a part to blame, but I need more from the players. I need togetherness, and I need all of this, and I need the desire." And it's just something we don't have, and it's an intangible. It's something that you don't get. It's not like a specialist ability just to put a bit of effort in, and we're just not getting any of it.
This moves us quite nicely on to next week's fixtures. Obviously, United do play Liverpool, right? And no, listen, because this is United versus Liverpool. This is one of the biggest rivalries the Premier League has ever seen. So if ever you want or you think a United player is going to want to be up for it, it's going to be this game.
But you also know it's not.
If they turn around and you see the same things, then it's even worse than we're speaking about.
I can tell you it is. We saw it last season.
Yeah.
It does come into that thing, like I said with Tottenham, in terms of form does a bit go out the window. Not with this United side.
Last
year sums it up. We got to that Liverpool game. We always went, but it is the Liverpool game, and within 5 minutes we went, and there it goes.
No, United, without a doubt, United are getting fucking embarrassed next week.
6-0 minimum.
But just in the first 5. If it's the first 5 minutes, just show a little bit of fucking want.
Do a Roy Keane. Do a Roy Keane and just batter someone just to feel something.
I just hit someone.
Yeah,
literally.
If Barry wants to lump someone and get sent off and banned for 3 games, please be my guest.
Am I the only one really enjoying all this and can't wait?
I mean,
Yeah,
I love
you
it.
are.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
On
it.
it.
But I've been
Yeah.
through it.
We have we jumped the gun quickly because we do have a game we have a game tomorrow night. Liverpool
yeah,
Crystal
Jim.
Palace.
Yeah.
Sitting all
And-
comfy over there.
Yeah,
you know what?
You ain't even played.
You know what? I
Up
was
the
actually going to
Eagles.
say that as well because this time next week when we record it, Copley and Cal, you got to think we don't have to
Yeah.
talk about how Man United have played.
You may be
That
happy.
can
Yeah,
wait.
you've
That can
finished
wait.
Boys, what the fuck are we going to talk
What are we going
about?
to talk
Yeah.
about?
What happens if we start winning? That will be an issue for this podcast. We'll
Yeah.
do 30-minute shows.
Like Arsenal fan TV, it only goes well when
Yeah.
United are losing. We are
I've got a
fucked
pub
otherwise.
quiz we can play next week.
Oh yes,
Oh,
Podcast.
podcast.
But yeah, Liverpool versus Palace tomorrow. I mean, I think we're all sitting
I
there
have a
expecting
few points on that.
expecting a
Yeah.
Liverpool win. Obviously, Palace against Arsenal. Palace grew into the game, looked like somewhat of a decent team, but couldn't fucking hit a barn door. Like they were,
Yeah.
they were shit in that respect.
If I see
Yeah.
Firmino in that starting lineup, I will lose my mind.
Not a chance you do. I don't think.
I will lose it. And also the midfielders. I'm really concerned about this midfield issue. Thiago's injured.
Okay.
So it leaves
So
Fabinho.
Water is wet.
yeah,
Fabinho,
and-
who is in some very poor form.
Yeah.
Henderson, who the less I'd rather talk about personally for myself. Milner, somehow that's an option still. And Naby Keita. He's injured.
He's probably injured as
obviously.
well, yeah.
He is injured.
Does Carvalho get a
He
game?
fucking should.
He was
should.
deployed as a winger though the first game, wasn't
played
he?
as
Not?
a centre mid all pre-season, and he comes on as a
Yeah.
winger. I don't get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But
I
you've still
love it.
you do have a few like Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones dabbled. He had like a good little run at the start when he came into
I'd
the
like
squad.
to see
Yeah.
Fab, Henderson, Elliott. I mean, that's
Yeah.
acceptable.
Not Carvalho.
I mean, he's just joined, isn't he? Elliott's been there a couple of
Yeah.
years now. He knows it a bit better.
I'm more impressed by Carvalho than I am from Elliott, though.
Last
Yeah,
year
we
he
don't like
was,
Harvey
he was
Elliott.
very good though.
I don't like
We
him,
don't.
but he's
Fuck that
all
guy.
right.
Either one, to be honest. I'll take either one.
You don't want to see a midfield three of combined years of 90 something.
No, if I see
Yeah.
Milner, Henderson, Fabinho, I might not watch it.
But it's fine because it's fine because Milner wins all the cross country races. So that's
Exactly.
Yeah.
To be fair, like, I did feel
He-
bad slandering Milner. He is an
He
absolute
came on and did all right
legend.
against Fulham.
He was better than all of the
Yeah.
midfielders that played coming on. Henderson's the issue. Fuck. Oh, I hate
So
it.
I reckon he'd give Scott McTominay a run for his money in regards to passing
Oh,
the football.
absolutely.
Not a
He can't
100%.
pass. No, Henderson
one comes
cannot
close to
pass
him.
the ball.
I understand that, but we're talking about Scott.
Henderson,
Yeah.
Henderson's a
But-
more mature, established McTominay.
He's an
That's
English
about it.
Mactominay.
Fucking, that's about it.
Mac and McTominay.
He is blessed he didn't get swapped with Clint Dempsey. Let me just tell you that. He's blessed.
So, I mean, moving on to match week 3, game week 3. It's not really the greatest set of fixtures. I can't lie. Well, I'll sort of reel off and then we'll go for a little quick preview. So we got Tottenham Wolves at 12:30 to kick it all off. The dreaded
easy win.
12:30 fixture. So we've then got at 3:00 Everton, Nottingham Forest, Leicester, Southampton, Fulham, Brentford.
Oh
I
god.
feel sick reading these
Oh,
out.
these are
Crystal
awful.
Palace, Aston Villa, then the 5:30 game, Bournemouth, Arsenal at the Vitality Shed. And then,
No, it's not a shed. It's a tin can. Remember?
Tin can.
Yeah,
Discuss
true.
this, Brick. Come on now.
the Vitality Cup of Soup. Then we've got West Ham Brighton on Sunday at 2, coupled with Leeds Chelsea.
Jesus
And then
Christ,
late game on
innit?
Sundays, Newcastle City, which could at the tomb could be sort of
It's a rough,
one of them.
it's a rough week.
I
I think.
know
I know
Yeah.
we said,
Yeah.
I know we said those Saturday games stink for us, but like an Everton Forest could be a big game come the end of the season.
Yeah,
'Cause I think both those teams are going to be low down the table, and for them that could be one of those games where if
but I
you take
mean-
3 points,
I'll
no,
bring
you're
a-
they're in the top 10. They're on the charge.
I'll
not
bring
my
a couple
trickies.
quizzes. I'll bring some football quizzes for that watch along because fuck me, it's gonna be dry.
Yeah.
Get the crosswords out,
It's a
boys.
good job we're
Crossword
funny.
shows.
Oh,
Yeah, we love it.
Maybe not Cotton.
But I'm
Not
looking at those
acceptable.
fixtures. There's not really one that I'm too thrilled about watching. Newcastle City. I'd like to see if Newcastle are like in front of the tune. do give it to City,
Bit more, yeah.
and hopefully we see a result there. But the game of the week is the one that's on the
Going on
weekday.
Spank Bang.
Man United, Liverpool, absolutely going on Brazzers, going on Pornhub, going on everywhere, all the porn sites, literally.
I'm gonna be sitting there singing Darwin, Nunes. Because to the big reds.
Hey, but at least United do get 2 extra. Actually, they trained today, didn't they? They might not get
they will be training every day, I hope.
Yeah, apparently they did.
Which is a good sign as well in itself, but
yeah,
honestly, it's going to hit that point where that's just it's like the apologies. I'm just sick of that shit as well.
I'm surprised Cop hasn't
fucking
suggested their cricket watch long yet.
Hey, any of you like cricket, hit me up. We will have a watch along. The 100 is on right now, and I don't mind the 100.
But yeah, does anyone else have anything to sort of add in regards to those fixtures, lads? Or
no, not really. Just hoping the boys can bounce back and get a win at home.
Spurs Wolves could be interesting because it is the early kickoff is a bit.
It always cursed.
It's a bit booky.
And it's Wolves that could be.
So please, from the bottom of my heart, if everyone can put Spurs on their ACCA, please.
Everyone triple captain Jesus. He's against Bournemouth. Come on, what could happen?
No, I've got faith. Oh, I'm gonna fucking triple captain him. I'll do it.
I like it.
Oh,
I'll hold you to that. I'll hold you to that.
Aaron, don't worry, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm not doing it, mate.
I think that just about rounds up the game week 2 roundup. Man United mudded, yes. Arsenal looking strong, absolutely. Spurs lucky to get a point, but luck has swung their way. Finally, after a long while. But yeah, I think that's all. Thank you very much for tuning in. This will be put on Spotify as well as YouTube. We're aiming for Tuesday morning at the absolute latest, if not sooner. Make sure to drop a follow on the socials down below, guys. Hit a follow.
hit the bell, hit the thumbs up. Why not? Go on, do it. You would. I fucking dare you to do it.
Yeah.
Do it if you're a baddie.
If
you're bad, you would.
If you're bad, you would.
Look, if you hate Andrew Tate, subscribe. So that should be everyone. All right, there you go.
We may lose a subscriber there.
I was going to say.
Josh has just unsubscribed.
We've been reported.
But yeah, ladies and gents, thank you so much for tuning in. Whether it's on your way to work or just as a nice late evening chill, listening to the roundup if you've missed the fixtures. We'll catch you again, same time. We'll be live with the football tomorrow evening, Monday at 8 for the Liverpool game, as well as over the weekend again, 12:30, 5:30, 2 o'clock, 4:30. We'll be live for those fixtures and we'll be live. But until then, see you later.